I'm wondering.
So when you're writing linear equations, the most important thing is break it out. When I see your papers and you've got a word problem, but I see nothing written in the paragraph, I already can tell the answer's wrong or you cheated to get it. Because in order to do these, you've got to write in there. I've been doing math for a few years, and I still write on paper. Because it's easier. If you don't, then you're going to get distracted by the latest song or TikTok. Lexi's going to come on and shout out with whatever's popular today, and it's going to confuse you. See? And then Lexi's going to smile as you forgot what you were doing. She thinks that's funny. So, we're going to write some equations. Now, what is the only two equations we're right now dealing with? We have two equations. Y equals mx plus b.
And y equals kx.
And y equals kx. Why did I put them at the top of my paper? Because I know that when I write these, the equation's going to look like one of them, isn't it? It should, when we're all done. So let's talk about this one. We've got somebody who's buying stuff on a gift card. The cash register subtracts $2.50 from a $25 coffee cafe gift card for every median coffee the customer buys. Use the graph to write an equation in the slope-intercept form. What form is that? What form is slope-intercept? Y equals. Look at your yellow sheet.
It's the banana man.
2 there and back, not dancing moves on your way. It's what is slope-intercept form? Look at your yellow sheet.
Y is equal to mx plus b.
Y equals mx plus b. So that's what we're looking for, right? Well, let's look for it. How much total did the card have to start with? $25, right?
I'm going to say 25.
Now, what part of this equation is the starting number? B, right? B is the starting or the initial value. So I know that 25 is B. How much is every coffee cost? $2.50. Are they adding money to the card or taking away?
Subtraction.
So what is M?
Negative 250.
Negative 250x plus B. So Y equals... Now I can go over here and look at the same thing. Where's the y-intercept? 0, 25, right? I can do rise over run, so I find some lattice points, which there aren't many until it gets down here, but I can do with that, right?
Yeah.
So, what's the rise from 0 to 25?
25.
So 25 over, my M equals, what's the run?
0.
10.
10. So what's 25 divided by 10?
250.
250. So I got the same answers using everything, right? So my ending equation is this. Y equals negative 250x plus 25. Do I have to, if it says something like use the graph to write an equation, do I have to use the graph if I don't feel like it?
Yeah.
Did I meet the requirement by writing the equation?
Yes.
Can I use both of these to check and make sure my answer fits?
Mm-hmm.
Who's more likely to get it right? Somebody uses one of the two or somebody uses both? Both. Get in the habit. Graphs are awesome. They're too easy. If they give you a graph, they give you a whole word problem, almost ignore the word problem. Take a look at it, but move on. Let's look at this. We got a building. So we've got a building. They charge for space in this office building. It's a linear relationship. So that tells us it definitely is an equation, right? We're definitely in one of the two equations. Relate to the size of the space rented. Write an equation of slope-intercept form. Well, that tells us we're doing y equals mx plus b for the rent at the West Main Street office rentals. Let's look at the ad here. The ad says we've got rental spaces. 600 square feet is $750, right? 900 square feet is $1,150. How can I find the slope with these?
Do both of them and then find them. No, you would take 900.
What are the ways to get M? What are the ways to get M? M is rise over run, right?
The difference in X.
Yeah, say that again, ma'am.
Difference in Y
Difference in y over difference in x. And a lot of times you'll see they'll say, and if you look at your sheet, it'll say y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, right? Are you with us here?
Yeah.
So, do I say feet per dollar or dollar per feet?
Feet per dollar.
Feet per dollar, which means feet becomes your y and x becomes your dollar, right? Feet per dollar. That's how you rent office space. So now, I'll make the first one's x1 and the second one's x2. You good with that?
Sure.
So let's look at this. M equals the difference in y, which is y2. What's y2?
900.
Minus y1, 600, over x2,
1,150.
oh, minus
750.
750. All right, do the math. If you put these in parentheses, it'll save your calculator problems.
Oh, I got it.
All right, birthday boy. What'd you get for slope?
His birthday.
0.75, which in fractions is
Before.
3 over 4. So now I know that m is 3 over 4, right? How do I find b? Do I have 3 parts of this 4-part equation? Do I have a y and an x?
Yes.
Yeah, I got a couple of them over here, right?
Yes.
So to find b, I'm going to have to do a little funky stuff. I'm going to have to do a y and an x. So over here, I'm going to have to use y, m, x, and then to find b. So what's a y? Let's use the first one. What's y in it?
600.
600 equals, we know slope is 3/4. What's the x over here? 750 plus b. Those of you who are doing other stuff, stop.
Oh, that's 7.
Now, we can solve this. First way we need to solve the math, you can also use insolve. So what's 3/4 of 750? 250. Divide 750 by 4 and multiply by 3. Or divide by 3 and multiply by 3 and divide by 4. It's 250. So I've got 600 equals 250 plus b. How do I move the 250 to the other side?
Subtract it. You would make it, yeah.
In both sides, right?
Yeah.
So what is 600 minus 250?
450. No,
350.
350. So what I end up with is 350 equals b. So b is
350.
350. So what they're telling you is y equals 3/4 x plus 350. To rent a space in their building, just to get in the building, will cost you $350.
Just to get in?
Just to get a space there, to get a post office box, will cost you $350. Then you buy, for every foot of space will cost you $0.75. That's your rent per month.
So that's 75 cents
Per square foot. Does that make sense? Okay, so that one required a little more work, but you guys can do that.
Yes.
I don't know if that's a lot per foot or if that's not a lot.
It depends. You'd have to look around, and it depends where it is. If it's one of those corners where everyone walks by, that's a great place to put a new cafe, isn't it?
Sure.
If you've got tons of foot traffic, man, start selling ice cream or
Do it
something.
right in front of the school where everyone enters.
Definitely. You would make some money during lunch.
Oh, yeah.
Let's look at this bottom one. So Leah's making beaded necklaces. For each necklace, she uses 27 spacers and 5 beads per inch of necklace length. Write an equation to find out. So what kind of equation are we getting here? Y equals mx plus b. So let's look at it. What is the fixed number in there? What's the thing that never changes for each necklace?
27.
25.
27 spacers. So what's in this equation, what's the thing that never changes?
B.
B. When she starts out, she's got some string and 27 of these spacer beads, period. Okay? How many beads per inch? 5 beads. Yes, sir. 5 beads, and what do we call the per inch thing? What variable? X. So 5 beads per inch, right? So what does y equal? Y equals 5 beads per inch plus 27 spacers. So what does y actually equal?
We have to figure that out.
5x plus 27.
How many beads total? So if you go to her and you say, I need a 100-inch necklace, 1, she's going to look at you like you're nuts. And 2, she can calculate how many. She needs 500 beads for the regular and 27 spacers. And again, she's going to look at you like you're nuts.
Why would you need spacers?
You
So
need to put her on your horse.
here's the question. We've got some variables. What's the input variable? What's the variable that you're putting into the equation?
27.
Why do you say x?
Because it can vary in
Why?
Yeah.
because it's each.
It's the number of
The
inches,
number-
right? Right? So it changes depending on who wants what, doesn't it? So x is your input. What's your output variable? What comes out of the equation? Y. It tells you how many beads total. And we already know our equation is y equals 5 beads per inch plus 27 spacers.
So you're just trying to find the equation. That's hard.
When you guys see word problems, first step is breathe. Yeah, everyone always sees this word problem. It's a long sentence, and you become panicky. Breathe deeply, and then break the problem apart. Find the y and the x, find the slope and the y-intercept. If you have 3 items in the sentence, you can get the 4th item by re-putting it together, right? Mm-hmm.
A 100-inch necklace, you would have to be 7'6" to
I,
wear that.
maybe you wrap it around your neck multiple times.
You're a tall girl.
Exactly.
Where's a size 13?
It's taller than me. You're probably like 54.
Okay, shh. I caused him stress with the 100-inch necklace. How about a 10-inch? Are you happier?
You could put her around your lion with the 100 inch.
Yes. You could
What?
have that rocket ride.
Okay, any questions on written equations? So today is going to be a lot of word problems that you're going to have to break out.